Hey there, I want to welcome you to another Rise of the 1% podcast episode. I am G Bass. And on today's episode, I got my man A with me.
What's good?
Man, I'm great, man. How about you?
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Glad to have you. And so, hey, we're going to have some conversation on some different topics today. I want to start off with the Diddy Trial.
Oh.
The Diddy Trial.
Not the diddler.
Yeah, that's what they call him.
You know, when I grew up, he went through a couple of different name changes. He
Right.
was
Puff, yep.
Puff Daddy.
Yep.
The diddler.
That came later on.
Yeah, the diddler came later. I don't know. The diddler's viral, though. people f***ing with the diddler, but I'm happy to talk about it. What's the conversation we talking about?
Well, I like to get your thoughts on it, you know.
About what, the trial?
Yeah, and before we do that, let's say this here. So myself, I grew up really looking at a lot of what Diddy was doing in the 90s and music and hip hop. And not only that, what he went on to do in entrepreneurship and business over the years. And so this is part of the reason I even wanted to speak on the whole Diddy trial and what he's went through, because I've spoken on it on previous episodes as well. But on this particular episode, I wanted to get some of your thoughts. Right. On what you thought about the trial, and we'll take it from there.
So like you said, Diddy, growing up, the music, for me personally, I find it hard to separate the music from the artist. Well, I don't find it hard to separate the music from the artist. Like R. Kelly, for instance, everything that he's done or he's been accused of or he's been prosecuted for, I still grew up on that music. Right?
Same here.
It's still a jam, it's still a bop. I still understand that, there's repercussions that come behind the things that he did, but I think there's a bigger or deeper question about at what point do we separate the two, right?
Okay.
People are upset that he makes money because we listen to the music, but at the same token, the music is the music, right? I can't personally distinguish when he was writing the music if it was about felonious acts that he was creating or things like that. So that's how I would start that conversation because Bad Boy was huge in my upbringing.
Right.
You know what
Same
I mean?
here.
I'm a huge fan of Biggie Smalls, which obviously is a product of Bad Boy.
Exactly.
I'm a huge fan of Mace. From Mace comes Cameron. There's just a huge, and I'm from Harlem. So
okay.
It has a whole different perspective that, that hits me. But if we're talking about the trial, I think there are things that were done that were wrong, on Puff's behalf. Like putting hands on Cassie and, possibly some manipulation tactics. But the fact that he was sentenced or even tried for RICO was ridiculous.
Right, same.
And
I believe the same thing.
I think that's the biggest issue because what happens is when you get tried for things so what they're doing is they're stretching a RICO.
Right.
And the parameters of a RICO to fit certain things.
Right.
Especially in the hip hop world right now.
Yeah.
Just to get some level of justice. But people have to understand that when you do that, you are when you're perversing the law like that, you're creating precedents that can work against you and me.
Right, exactly.
So, if you ask me about the trial, I think there was premise for him to be in a courtroom, but at the same token, I don't think the gravity of what he got was correct. Like years for.
Yeah.
I mean, in my belief, I believe that's a misdemeanor.
Right.
3 years for that is ridiculous.
Exactly. I agree 100%.
It's ridiculous. It makes you feel like you can't take your girl and fly her out to see you without getting a RICO charge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, for me, I think the RICO was definitely an overreach. The RICO was used to take down the mafia years ago, and I felt like they was attempting to paint Diddy like he was a John Gotti.
Right.
And I don't feel that he was a John Gotti. I feel like Bad Boy Entertainment was a legitimate record company that distributed records and blew up a lot of artists and talent. In terms of the trafficking, because we're here on YouTube, I think as well that was an overreach to me.
Agreed.
These women were his girlfriends. Yeah, they went across state lines, and yeah, they had these male come in and participate in escapades, but they were complicit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I think that's the biggest word that we can say about it. Like, for the example, Cassie paid
Right.
the by their own admission.
Exactly.
The male.
Right, exactly.
So how possibly is she not complicit
Right.
in that conversation?
Exactly.
And Diddy's in jail right now, and she gets $20 million
Exactly.
suing him, and then she goes and she's able to testify against him.
Right. That didn't make sense to me either.
And I see it as the Me Too movement just
Yep. A lot of feminism, yeah.
the Me Too movement just pushed forward to 2025.
Right.
And again, like I said, people have to worry about what this means for future trials, because they can look these trials up and say, well, the Diddy versus Cassie says that we can do this.
Right, exactly.
So that means if I fly a girl that I'm dealing with out, you know what I mean, and now she's upset with me, we're not together anymore, now I can be tried for sex trafficking.
Right.
Like, that doesn't
That's
make
crazy.
sense. Right, it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense at all. Definitely doesn't make sense at all. And I shared this in a previous episode, but I speak more on it even on here, is that pretty much I felt like Cassie had a vendetta against Diddy because he never proposed to her, he never had kids from her.
Right.
And her career didn't really blossom the way that she thought it should blossom.
Right.
And she saw that Diddy was doing this for another woman. And the other woman, I speak on was Carisha, you know, Young Miami?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So he actually helped her with getting her own show, Carisha Please on Revolt. And I think when she kind of saw that, Cassie, she like, dang, I was with you for so many years, participating in these escapades with you. I never got a ring, I never got kids, and my career didn't really blossom.
But her time frame for her career wasn't around that internet age.
That's true. I agree.
Number two, she chose to get out of the Diddy business.
Yeah.
When Carisha, is it Carisha?
Yeah.
So when Carisha came in, this is internet premium.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the one thing you're gonna get from a billionaire is an internet show. Like, you're gonna get that from them.
Yeah.
And I also heard that she was down with the shits. Like, she's not the one who's gonna report him. Like, she wanted her own show and said that she like getting.
I heard that in the episode.
If she putting that out, right? If she putting that out, what's she not putting out, right? So if you down with the shits, which I respect. For me personally, I think if you're in the bedroom and you're doing what you need to do, your proclivities is your proclivities.
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't be able to be brought out later on. Like, you're complicit at some point.
Right.
Like, I've dealt with females who like to watch me get what of a female.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about now. Is voyeurism. It's voyeurism.
Yo.
And because before this podcast started, we was having a conversation about that, and I was telling you that I feel like when we look at voyeurism, it's most of the time a man sitting in the corner,
Right.
you know, pleasing himself, watching this woman have a encounter.
So
but you were saying to me that it's not always that.
So that's being a
right.
So that's being a
right.
So, and that can be seen as a level of voyeurism. But like, I've been in relationships when I've been with a female who they wanted to see me have with another female. So while I'm having this with another female, they may want to direct that scene, right? So that is a level of voyeurism because they're watching and they're getting pleasure from it. They might join at some point, but they're getting pleasure for it. So voyeurism isn't that four-letter word. It can be used in that terminology, yes. There are voyeurs that do that sit in the corner and they're as well. But there's other people who use voyeurism for like gratification. Like, you could be with your partner, you might like to see her, or she might like to see you with another chick, and then she want to join in, or she wants to direct that situation. So that is also voyeurism. So, I mean, and that's another thing. Now that we're talking about it, like, that has a lot to do with stereotypes, with gender norms, right? You know, if it's a guy, it's bad. If it's a girl, it's okay. If a girl looking at me, you know, smashing another chick and she's into that, that's cool. But if a guy does that, he gets, you know, he's less of a man.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to get into that politic, but what I'm trying to say is it's just different views on things. And just like voyeurs.
I mean, do you think that makes a man considered gay?
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you.
And I'm not here to talk down on gays or anything.
No.
Whatever your sexual preference is, that's your preference.
I'm going to be honest
but
with
I'm just asking you that question.
That's
like,
a subjective answer. Like, for me personally, I don't care what you do in your personal life.
Okay.
You know, just like I would hope that you don't care what I do in my personal life. No, I think it's what you enjoy. I don't think should be, and I was at a point one time in my life when I thought that should be like a competition or limited, or it should be this way or that way.
Yeah.
But honestly, as long as you're enjoying yourself, you should enjoy yourself. I have no place in your bedroom. You have no place in mine. And it's actually a shame that people use that for leverage on the internet.
Yeah.
I think that proves to the or speaks to the fact that in certain terms or certain ways, we're not ready for the internet. You know what I'm saying? Because we use it in ways that, like for blackmail. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like, whatever you do in your bedroom should be, and that shit should be out of bounds. You know what I mean? But here we are, we talking about it, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, stay out of people's bedrooms. They felt the Diddy case too, like it was like, you know, the prosecution was pretty much playing what they call the bedroom police.
Exactly.
Right? They're all in this man's bedroom on what he got going on.
And the crazy thing is, again, she paid for everything. So if we're talking in legal terms, she is the biggest co-defendant that he possibly has.
Yeah.
If he's in jail, how possibly is she not in jail? How did she get immunity?
Yeah.
And how did she sue him months before the trial?
Exactly.
Obviously, she was in on the feds plan to do this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's one of those things that make you angry as a man. Number one, because these things can happen to you.
Yep.
If it can happen
Any everyday person. Absolutely. I agree 100%.
But
okay.
We are here, you know, and if she asks me to up for him, I'm going to do it.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
What's
toxic masculinity?
Hey.
Let's talk a little bit about that. So what's some of your thoughts? Because right now, that is a conversation, especially on the internet and amongst a lot of women. This toxic masculinity. Is it real? No. Is it fake? And what are some of your thoughts on it?
I'm not gonna bury the lead. I'm gonna keep it honest. Toxic masculinity is a bullshit phrase. It doesn't exist. Okay. Men are born to be a bit toxic because we are the people who control our borders. We're the people who keep us safe. When we congregate as children, we tend to play games that creates hierarchy. Girls don't do that. They tend to do inclusive things.
True.
Which is our natural order. We live in a society at this point in time, we've gotten so sophisticated that we're in a situation where women being empowered has become conflated with women having male traits. And I think that's where the term toxic masculinity.
So women basically becoming more like a little bit more masculine. You saying?
Exactly. So there's a story about a slave owner who actually bought slaves when he became free. He didn't buy slaves because he was free. He bought slaves because that's what rich people did. So women are doing what powerful men are doing. So they're taking on those powerful masculine traits, thinking that makes them more desirable. But a man doesn't care if you have a six-figure salary.
Oh, I was just going to ask you, what are some of the masculine traits that they're taking on?
Well, one of the biggest things is I have a career.
Yeah.
But for a man, I don't care about you.
They don't really care about a career. Because men pretty much take care of a lot of the
right. I don't care about your career.
responsibilities as a provider anyway.
Listen, I don't mind if you provide more. I've even had women provide more than I do. But when it comes to a relationship, I'm a man. Anything less than me being a man and you being a woman changes the dynamic. Changes in dynamic doesn't work well in nature. Right? It's the reason why men can impregnate multiple women and still move on about their day. And women, once they get impregnated, they're on pause. There's a reason why that happens.
What's the reason? It's
because it's nature. This is nature. they can't do what we can do. So trying to imitate what we can do is actually wrong by nature, right? So if I can go and have sex with 17 women and impregnate every single one of them, that means that I'm meant to move around in that space. I can move around in that space. If I impregnate you as a woman and you are on pause for 9 months, that means you can't. Naturally, not by my rules, but this is natural. So if I think that's part of the breakdown of society, you know what I mean? And I'm sorry not to get off the topic of toxic masculinity, but if we're talking about toxic masculinity, again, that's a myth. Being a man comes with all types of things. If you think about the way that we're broken down by a woman, we have to be tall, we have to be successful, we have to be fearless. We have so many things, so many boxes that we have to check off. But when it comes to us being men, when you label it as toxic, and then you find somebody who's not toxic, that likes to paint their nails or go to their hair salon every day, they don't want those men. So it's a conundrum. I think it's just a bad idea to listen to that type of propaganda. I think it injects more problems in society than it corrects.
Okay. All right. So let's speak a little bit more to that in terms of them not wanting the man, like you say, that paint his nails and going to the hair salon or wherever to get their hair done.
So let's define toxic masculinity, right? What's toxic masculinity?
From what I've received from it, is pretty much a man that's just being overly emasculated towards women.
What is overly emasculated? See, and I'm glad that you said that term because that actually breaks it down, because that's a huge misconception. There's no such thing as overly emasculated. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a man. I'm supposed to... The reason why we have what we have right now, infrastructure, is because man is smart enough to have dominion over the beasts that were apex predators. So that's good enough to create society.
Right.
But now it's not good enough to be in society. It doesn't add up. There's no such thing as over masculinity. If that was the case, we wouldn't have bridges, we wouldn't have roads, we wouldn't have infrastructure. Right.
Man built.
Right, exactly. So over masculinity is crazy.
Yeah.
And the fact that you said that is a great topic or a great learning point.
Yeah.
Because it's not a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It like the terminology of man up, right? Women are freely to tell a man to man up, but I can't tell you to woman up. Right? I can't tell you. So one of the things that's crazy for me is like food stamps, like government assistance.
Right.
There's abundance for women, but it's not for men.
Right. I agree.
So when they cut food stamps off, and no disrespect to anybody, if a woman came up to me and said they cut my food stamps off, if I said woman up, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
But it's okay in everyday topics.
Yeah.
To say man up.
Yeah.
Or to say I don't want no scrubs.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Or your mother should have swallowed. They can say all those things. And I know we're getting off the topic of toxic masculinity, but I'm just trying to show you examples that toxic masculinity does not exist. Without masculinity, we would not have today's society.
No, I agree.
We would not have structure in this world.
I agree.
And the people who spout toxic masculinity wouldn't be free to do so.
Okay. Well, I gotta point out some points of what I've heard from some women online when it comes to the quote unquote toxic masculinity. At times they feel like men that are attempting to control them, if they're in a relationship, control them.
So
they consider that toxic masculinity, right?
That's a perfect example. So men are charged with the task of
protection and providing. Right.
So how can I protect you if you don't listen?
Okay.
How can I protect you if you don't listen?
Yeah. I agree.
If there is a bunch of people on the corner who we know sell drugs or dealing nefarious acts, and you want to go outside in the shortest skirt in the world, and I tell you not to do so because we might get into some problems walking past those guys.
Yeah.
And you don't listen to me, how can I protect you? Because as much as of a man or lack of there is that I am, 6 guys on one ain't no good. Right? So protection comes with a level of compliance. Right?
There you go.
That comes with a handshake.
Yeah.
And this is what we're talking about. This goes back to the topic about men and women and their roles and how they used to handshake.
Yeah.
They no longer handshake. They clash because, and I'm not trying to put it just on females, but developing traits of successful people, most successful people in society are male. So what traits are you putting on yourself being successful? You're putting on male traits, just like that man who got freed and he bought slaves. He wasn't trying to be a slaver. He was trying to be a successful man during that time. So as a woman trying to be a successful woman, what are you going to emulate? Successful men.
Man, right.
So you're taking successful men traits and you're pinning them on your chest. And then when somebody says, what do you bring to the table? And you say, hey, I've got a degree and I make my own money.
Yeah.
But guess what? As a man, I don't care. I want a nice woman. I want a nice woman who can raise my kids and treats me nicely. So guess what? You're alone. And now you become bitter because no man wants me, but look at what you pinned on your chest. I was in the military. I pinned things on my chest for things that I did. If you're pinning on your chest traits of a man might not like that.
Right.
No matter how attractive you are. Because it comes with things. Us as men, and such as toxic masculinity, comes with a certain energy. If me and you get into a conversation, there's a level of aggression that's in between that.
Yeah.
You understand? If cut the cameras off and everything, and I say something to you that you might not like or you take offense to. Back in the day, they would slap a man, take 10 paces, and shoot a motherfucker in the face. That's something that women don't quite understand because that's not where they live. When they get into something, the biggest thing that they could do is say, I'm going to call another man to handle this. Such as the police.
Yep.
They're not, if she gets into an argument with you, she's not going to fight you.
Right.
She's going to call the cops.
Cops.
And
Right.
who's the cops?
Majority man.
Oh, man.
Right. Exactly.
You calling another man to handle the problem that you have with another man.
Yep.
But there's a disconnect there because they feel like I did that. Yeah, you picked up a phone, but you're not doing the act.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I digress.
No. You just dropped some bombs there.
I digress.
Just dropped some bombs, eh? Just dropped some bombs. So toxic masculinity, not real. And my guy A just dropped a bunch of bombs. That is not, and I agree on majority of the points you spoke on. So now A, we'll get into talking about Future's brother,
Okay.
Casino, recently was arrested with another guy, and they actually was allegedly arrested for the FBI actually coming off into a house in Forest Park here in Georgia, and they allegedly had 21 kilograms of fentanyl and over $380,000 of cash and a firearm in the house. And they allege...
Only one?
Yeah, that's what they say. And
that much fat, boy.
exactly. And they say that when the FBI came into the house, Casino attempted to actually run. They caught him.
Why not?
Yeah, and they caught him with $4,000
So
cash.
wait. Let me I'm a layman to this topic. So
Okay.
I'm happy that you brought it up because I with Future.
Yep,
He makes
same
some
here.
great music. Shout out to Future.
Yep, for sure.
So his brother's still in the game, obviously.
That's what it
At
is.
least that's
Allegedly showing us.
alleged.
Yeah.
So in Atlanta, he was caught with fentanyl
Yep.
in like a trap house.
Yeah,
And he was caught at the trap house.
yeah.
Cause I'm a denier. Like I don't believe all the shit that they put on the news. So they actually caught him at the trap house.
That's what they're saying.
And the fentanyl was in the trap house.
That's what they're
And
saying.
he was in the trap house with the fentanyl.
Yep,
At the
that's what
same
they're saying.
time.
That's what they're saying.
Okay. All right. How much fentanyl?
He said 21 kilos. Yeah, not looking good.
That's gonna get a lot of people
Yeah,
where they need to be.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I've done some, but I ain't do no fent. But
Fent,
that's
yeah.
gonna get you where you need to be.
Yeah.
All right.
And the thing about it, man, like you said, you know, I mess with Future.
Fact.
Just a little background real quick. You know, I was in the entertainment business.
Yeah.
And I was one of the club promoters that gave Future some of his first shows.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. you look the part. You look the part.
Appreciate you. And so, yeah, I've always had that great relationship with Future over the years. So, you know, all respect with us actually doing this part of the episode.
For a second. You're an Atlanta native too.
Absolutely.
That's what's up.
100%.
All right. 'Cause I'm from New York, and I'm just trying to give the audience an understanding of, you know, the difference in understanding what's happening.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. And Casino, I met him, which is Future's brother, who they just, arrested. You know, I met him before.
He's probably cool as a
Cool guy. I met him at a strip club.
Hey!
Called Allure in Buckhead. Yeah, I met him there, and he was a cool guy. You know what I mean? So it's unfortunate to hear that situation. But the thing is, from a business perspective, what are some of your thoughts? Because from what I've seen, he was actually the CEO of their record label, Free Bands Entertainment, which is Future's company as well.
That's a fact.
And still got a foot in the streets at the same time. It's kind of like, if that's true, you know, of course he'll get his day in court. But it's like, what are your thoughts on guys that's like, they
the first
rise to prominence in the music business but still got a foot in the streets?
The first thing that comes to my mind is Fetty. My man Fetty, like, you know, he was very high in the music industry, and then his star started to dwindle, and he got caught in the same situation. So when I think about Future's still very prominent in the music industry. Right. So no, it doesn't seem like something that they should be doing. And that's a crazy question because it asks the question: is Fetty? Is Future? Funding this, right? I'm pretty sure that's one of the first things that they're gonna go to. Yeah. Of course, you don't want to hear that type of shit because he's a successful person who made it out of the situation that he made it out of. But there's a lot of if his brother is in it, it begs a lot of questions, right? I think that's the biggest thing that's gonna happen out of this news story. They're gonna ask questions about if Future was a part of that. And right now, with the level of RICO that they're pulling RICOs out for anything. You could jaywalk and they trying to RICO you. Like, you know, he was jaywalking with 5 other niggas, so now we got them all. So, I mean, you know, it's a scary prospect. Right. In today's times of what they can do with one person and how they can link it to another person. I really hope that Future isn't involved.
Same, man.
With the information that you gave me, it's hard to think that they won't look at that as a prospect. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, with Future's notoriety, potentially, you know, but I hope as well it don't go there.
Because they call Fetty like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fetty's supposed to be very prominent, but you know those bills, you know, they pile up. How many baby mothers Fetty's got? Fetty's got, I think, a few baby moms. So that child support, bro, that gets expensive, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? After the time, it eats away at that money in a way that another bill cannot. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I can see that because how many baby mothers Future has?
From what I've heard, you know, it may not be all the way accurate, but I heard about at least a minimum 6. A minimum.
So you know what they hit. So Nas, right, when he had his baby with Khalees, I heard they was hitting him for $30,000 a month. So let's just use that as a value. Right. $30,000 a month times 6. I know math. Yeah. I could divide.
Yeah, same man.
You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of
money every month. Absolutely. But one, and then you talking about even 6.
You know, I mean, as much as I do enjoy Future, but the music industry ain't what it was. You know what I mean? Contracts and things of that nature, they're just not what they was. Yeah. I don't know Future's net worth, but I tell you what.
It's over $50 million. I tell you that.
I tell you what will eat into $50 million.
Yeah.
6 kids. And I think you're being conservative. I think he's got like 15. He's got like 35. He's got 82 kids. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at my producer.
And
He's telling me they got 9. So let's look at it like that. 9.
So it done went up since last time.
Let's do
got
9.
my information.
Let's do 9 times 30,000. So 10 times 30,000 is gonna be 300,000. So what? 290,000 a month? That's crazy work, bro.
Yeah.
Child support. You know what they do to you?
What?
They take your license. They got like to drive.
Yeah.
You know what else they do?
What is that?
Put your black ass in jail, goddamn.
Oh yeah, we know that.
I just hope that they took enough of that and put it to the side for the lawyer. My man.
And that's what I was saying. I don't think Future's gonna really speak on this situation.
No,
he shouldn't.
No. Why would he?
But I think if anything, he could potentially help with
Bro,
the legal fees.
I hope he got Brian Steele.
Right, help with the legal
Brian
fees.
Steele got my nigga.
Exactly.
Young Thug off.
Got Young Thug off,
Steele.
and he was a part of Diddy's legal team.
Facts.
Yeah.
And Diddy only got 3 years.
Right.
But that. 3 years for is some
Still
crazy shit.
It's still crazy.
I paid for and 3 years for
Yeah.
crazy, my nigga. That's wild.
Yeah.
New York standards, that's not cool.
Yeah.
It's a lot of in New York, that's not cool.
Well, here's the thing, though. We're ready to wrap up this topic is fentanyl. You know, fentanyl, it's a poison. You know, I know of some rappers that I've known personally who are no longer here, allegedly due to fentanyl.
Well, they use fentanyl. Fentanyl is lethal. They use fentanyl usually to step on to stretch it.
Yeah.
So what I heard from the people that I was dealing with, that Mexico didn't actually like the fact that fentanyl was being put into because that's their main export. And putting fentanyl in is causing overdoses.
Right.
So I was told that they were tinting the fentanyl with pink. So if somebody tried to stretch it or step on it, you know what I mean, it would be pink. So that's the one thing that I know about that. Fortunately, I've never been around anybody who got caught in that, but fentanyl is a bad thing. I heard that it can absorb in your skin, and you don't even have to snort it. Like if you touch it and you don't know what it is, it can absorb in your skin and cause catastrophic injury to yourself.
Wow.
You know, shouts to anybody who got caught in that, and hopefully his brother wasn't, you know, in that. It's something that he can, you know, get away from, but... You know, only time will tell.
Yeah, we'll see. It's time. Everybody get their day in court, you know, innocence of proven guilty. Absolutely. So let's talk now about Nicki Minaj and even female rappers as a whole.
Nicki.
But Nicki pretty much just recently did a speech over the UN, and she's doing a speech for the Trump administration.
Right.
In regards to speaking up for Nigerians when it comes to Christianity or whatever. The thing is, though, is before Trump recently, his administration actually highlighted one of her songs on a TikTok video for something that was going on with the White House. Nicki wasn't even really speaking about anything in regards to supporting what Trump or his administration had going on. And Nicki's been doing some other things in terms of personal type situations online that, you know, some of the things I haven't agreed on.
Yeah, somebody needs to take her phone away.
Yeah, that's what you believe?
That's a general consensus.
Okay.
Somebody needs to grab her phone and take it away, yes.
Yeah, because I wonder too, you know, her speaking up for Nigerians and things around Christianity and her being Caribbean.
Right.
Like, what does that really have to do with you? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, what?
Right. Okay. I heard that she's actually misinformed. Actually, Mark Lamar Hill, I was listening to him talking on the Joe Budden podcast, and he was saying that she's actually misinformed on the situation that's going on. And so, if she wants to spread information about it, she should get the right information. I'm misinformed on that situation, so I wouldn't be the person to spread that information. But I do enjoy Mark Lamar Hill. I think he's a smart brother.
I agree.
If he says that she has the wrong information, I think that possibly can be the situation. But I'm more than happy to delve into that on another episode when I have more information, because I don't want to be the person spreading misinformation myself.
Yeah.
You know.
And with Nicki, I'll say this. Like, Nicki, when it comes to music, when it comes to her catalog of music, her body of work,
a killer.
I would literally say Nicki, greatest of all time female rapper.
Yes.
When it comes to catalog, body of work.
Yeah. I mean, I was turned when she did that Monster song with Jay-Z and everybody.
Yeah.
She was obviously a standout on that song.
Yeah.
She showed her lyrical prowess crazy on.
Yeah, going on song with a lot of
on such a stage, right?
Big
with so
ones in
many
the
big
hip hop
rappers,
space, right? Exactly.
So yes, no, she's solidified in that situation, but that still doesn't change, what you do outside of that.
Right.
Right. We can enjoy someone's body of work and still criticize the things they do outside of their music career.
100%.
And I think that's a great segue to that. Like, she's a great artist, but does she have a place in politics? Does she even know what's happening in the political space? Is she just taking that speaking engagement in order to further her agenda as a person who's in the public eye, as opposed to worrying about the people in those situations?
Right.
And that's something that I would really like to talk about. I think we should really do some research on it and move forward on that topic.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you're going to step in the political space, I mean, yes, of course, Nicki has a huge following. She has the barbs and all this. But my thing is, if you're going to step into that space, you need to really understand that space.
You do, yeah.
And really understand some of the moves and talking points and things that you're doing.
Right.
Because this is not hip-hop in a political space.
Right, so hip-hop,
So I agree.
Right, there's a lot of alliteration, there's a lot of embellishing in hip-hop. And that's cool because it's entertainment.
Right.
But when you cross that line into something that's actually factual and tangible, you want somebody who has an opinion that you can trust.
Right.
And I'm going to be honest with you, listening to Mark Lamont Hill saying that she's misinformed on the situation makes me want to get more informed on the situation so we can actually have a great conversation about it.
Yeah.
Because it's not that we don't want Nicki to speak. We want Nicki to speak. But we want Nicki to speak about the right things.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's okay to criticize somebody who's coming into a situation that's not well versed. Like I just said, I'm not well versed in it, so I can't condemn or condone. But I would like to put my time in to research it, to understand it, so we can do that job of condemning or confirming on if she's putting something out that's correct or incorrect.
Right.
Because her voice carries in our culture.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, one of the big things about it is our culture.
Yep.
Our culture has been infiltrated by so many things, so many demons, so many misinformations.
Yeah.
And we don't want to push people in the wrong direction as well.
Right.
We want to be the place where people come and they go, okay, that's the correct direction. And that's why I'm keeping myself in a place where I'm not fully versed on that situation. And I hope we can do so. And we can come back and we can make that episode so we can be fully versed.
Yeah.
So our audience can understand it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, I agree. And I say this, for any barbs that might tune into this, or any Nicki Minaj supporters.
With Nicki.
And I say this.
With Nicki.
I give Nicki kudos because, like I've told A, I started off in the entertainment business as a businessman. And one thing I tell you is, when I was coming up in the business and we was...
by the time.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you this. When we was looking at certain artists to book for certain clubs here in Atlanta, back when I was in the entertainment business, Nicki Minaj's name was coming up at that time. And I'm going to be quite frank with you. Her fee was, it was what it was. And I never forget, a lot of male promoters here in Atlanta was like, man, don't book Nicki, man. You're going to lose. Like, you're not going to make your money back. You're not going to profit. You're not going to do anything, right? At that time. And so we never booked her. Like, I'm going to be quite frank with you. But to see where she went so many years later.
But she's a monster.
As an artist, like to see where she went, even from those conversations, that was here in Atlanta.
I can't co-sign that.
I gotta, no, me personally.
I'm booking Nicki. I can't co-sign that.
Well, you may not can't co-sign it, but I'm telling you, the promoters in Atlanta, when I was in the business, a lot of them, especially male promoters, they was like, man, don't book her, you're gonna lose money. And
She's a monster.
I'm gonna tell you, later on, I started to see, I say, man, she that deal. You know what I mean? So yeah, I give Nicki kudos when it comes to the music side of things. Like I say, and not discounting any other female artists that have paved the way as well in hip hop. I love Lauryn Hill. Yeah. I love Queen Latifah, MC Lyte, Lil Kim, Foxy Brown, even coming down south, The Brat, Gangsta Boo, Mia X, all of y'all, Trina, all of y'all. I love all those women. But I'm just talking about catalog and body of work over a long period of time. Yeah. Nicki definitely did her thing. And I got to give it to her.
And having a pulse on the culture. But you can't hate on somebody who says a line like, I'm light as a rock. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. Yeah. But you're right. Nicki Minaj, in terms of catalog, she's a monster.
Absolutely.
We all have to respect her in that vein.
Yeah.
I just will hope that, again, we can do
on a political
research.
Yeah.
And we can, because it's a different thing. You know what I mean? Like, we can be stars, we can be people that people admire.
Right.
And we can be in that public space, but once you step into that political arena, you want to make sure that your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed.
I agree.
And we want to make sure that she's on that same page. So I'm not, at this point in time, I'm not going to, applaud her or condemn her. Yeah. I'm going to say that I would like to do the research to understand what she actually said. This topic actually just came up from my producer.
Yeah.
And he wanted us to have a thought process on it. So my thought process is Nicki is amazing as an artist.
Yep.
And if she's going to move into that space, I just hope that she's well-informed.
Absolutely.
Because if I did so, I would want to be well-informed as well.
There you go. There you go. Well, that is on Nicki. That is Nicki. Yeah, we salute you, Nicki.
Salute.
We just make sure we get all the facts together on the political side.
She's
and we
leave it there.
Absolutely. So let's talk next, about this video that literally has went viral over the last week of this mother and her son. And she had a daughter with her too. But primarily her and her son walking through Chicago.
Yeah.
And these younger kids turning them in terms of her and her son. And then literally jumping on her and jumping on her son and beating them up.
Yeah.
And literally, I mean, if you see the video, like the mom is not really fighting back as much. The son is just taking a whooping from all these kids. And, they say the mother, had, I want to say they said sickle cell or something like that, but they had to be pretty much put in the hospital and stuff like that. Yeah. Man, what are some of your thoughts on that, man, in terms of these kids?
For me,
jumping on a mother and a son like that.
I caught the story late. For me, it was hard to watch.
Yeah.
Especially in our community that this is happening, right?
Yeah.
It just shows that, the line has been crossed, right?
Yeah.
So we have a line where morality is and, where decency is. And the fact that nobody in that immediate area didn't jump in to do something. Like, I would like to think if I was there, I'm grabbing these little kids by their neck. Like, what the are you doing? The fact, they say it takes a village to raise
children. Right, exactly.
So, community-wise, that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not condemning anybody or, because I wasn't there. So I can't point out if anybody was there and they were just watching. But I know cameras were rolling, so somebody was there.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch, especially when it comes to
definitely hard.
Especially when it comes to our community.
Right. Within our community, you're right.
Our community has always been tagged as the community who they
classify us like animals.
They tag us like animals.
Yeah.
And it's hard to see because this is more fuel for that, more ammo for that situation.
Right.
And I really feel for the mother,
Yep.
the child.
Me too. Me too.
And the problem here is repercussions, right? You know, how do you judge children? Right? You know, that's the scary part, because if children are becoming a victim of society to the point where they don't feel like they have any repercussions, that's extremely scary.
Yeah.
Because I remember as a child, you know, I always would think of repercussions because I was a child.
Right.
As an adult, it's different. Like, you might be able to get away, but as a child, everybody knows who you are in your, you know, in your immediate surroundings.
Right.
So you know that this mother might see you or this father might see you. If we are devolving to a place where children don't feel that level of, you know, community sees me,
Right.
that's extremely scary for our culture. Because, you know, when we came out of slavery, we were very community based. You know, I was in New York after Jim Crow. You couldn't come on Lenox Avenue if you didn't wear a suit. They would run you off. You know, there were standards. These standards that are no longer there, that's the things that's scary. What happened is bad. It was egregious.
Yeah.
But looking past that is what we're really trying to deal with. What are these children dealing with in their process?
Right. Or what's going on in their household, even with their parents, for you to be behaving
Well,
this way.
it's not even their parents. In my opinion, it's their processing center in their brain. What are they thinking? They must have no understanding of consequence at this point. When you become numb to the sense of consequence, nothing can hurt you, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We as grown men, we don't run out when the bank doesn't give us the money that we need and shit up because we don't want to.
Right.
I mean, possibly we do that.
Yeah.
But we also do that because we know the
Consequences
that come with it.
right.
When you start to get to a point, especially in the youth, of missing that thought process of consequence, what does that really mean for a society? And I cry for that because we're young black children.
Yeah.
But
that's what was in that video.
If we move past young black children, this is just children.
Yeah.
The future is what we have to look forward to. If the children don't have anything to look forward to future-wise, and that's the way that they metabolize what they do, that's a very scary thing to think about. It's almost dystopian. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's making us really look at like what society looks like for us moving forward with what they call now the YNs. That's what they call these youngins now. You know.
I mean, even that
we gotta change that terminology up to kings or queens. You know,
but even
YNs.
That adaptation of that word is crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Young niggas.
Right.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, man. You know, I like I said, I saw the video. I was like, man, come on, man. Like, why y'all jumping on this lady and her son like that? And then I heard a little bit of a speech in front of the school, and then allegedly I've heard that Oprah Winfrey decided to give $1 million to her and her family for that situation.
That's piece of bullshit. Right?
Okay.
You Oprah Winfrey and you gonna give her $1 million because she got beat up. Let's think about it.
Okay.
Is that for the lady or for Oprah? And you know what? I grew up loving Oprah. Okay. But we have to call out the hypocrisy, right? Is she doing that to help this lady? Or is she doing that because it's a photo op? It's a tax write-off. If this didn't happen to this lady, would she care about her sickle cell or her kids? And that's not even a knock on Oprah. It's just a focus on society. Yeah. And how it's moved and how people move in society. It's not just about the cesspool that society has become. It's about how much swim in that cesspool. And she's swimming in that doing the backstroke. And I'm not going to give no props for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's the case.
So you don't really know the
If that's the case, I need $1 million right now.
Yeah.
You know, and again, I'm not trying to put this on Oprah. I'm putting this on the society. Our society is in a place where it's a cesspool. It's all about how you swim in that cesspool. And Oprah, if she did do that, she backstroking in the bitch. Because you know what she's going to do? Going to send this lady $1 million at Oprah's tax bracket. You know what that's going to do to that lady?
What?
It's going to break her. Because you can't send that type of money in Oprah's tax bracket.
Yeah.
Because her tax bracket is crazy. So they're going to come after Shorty, number one. Number two, Oprah's going to be able to write it off as a charitable contribution.
That's right up, yeah.
So is it really, son? I'm not giving no props for that, yo, bro. That. I need $1 million, Oprah. I need $1 million, If that's the case.
Hey, you know what's crazy? In the comments, that's what a lot of people were saying. It was like,
I need $1 million,
They was like, hey, I go out and get
watch
beat
Color
up.
Purple. I pay for that shit.
People's in the comments like, I go out and get beat up too for $1 million.
Hit me right now. $1 million cash, nigga.
Yeah.
You could punch me right in my girl right now. I ain't gonna say nothing. So, again, this isn't about, and I'm glad you brought that up, because it's bullshit, bro. I don't believe Oprah cared about this lady, because if this didn't happen, would she have done it? If it wasn't a photo op, would she have done it? Nah. I'm cool with that. But you know what broke Bill's character? You can't buy that shit. You know what I'm saying? You can give me $1 million, but you can't. That $1 million ain't gonna take or change what I've been through. You understand what I'm saying? And that is what's important. And that's the crazy thing. It's a fine line between that. It's a fine line between having and struggle. And struggle sometimes is the beautiful part of that shit.
Yeah.
Because if I ain't struggle, I can't say this shit. If I was bought and paid for by somebody else, I can't say this shit.
True.
You know what I mean? Keeping it a being comes with coming from struggle, because you know what pain feels like.
Yeah.
If Oprah ain't see this lady on the news and know that her name was being put in there, she wouldn't give that woman no money. If that shit happened behind closed doors, she wouldn't have gave that woman no money.
I got you.
Word to mommy.
Got you. Well, that's the situation pretty much on the lady that got beat up by these kids in Chicago, and her son had to be rushed to the hospital. And I tell you, I pray the best for him. With that said, it's another Rise of the 1% podcast episode with me, G Bass, my guy A. It's been a phenomenal episode. Appreciate you coming on.
That's a fact.
Absolutely.
Hopefully I come back.
Definitely. We'd love to have you back
Say
on.
less.
For sure. And with that said, being you got something out of this episode, make sure you bang the like button. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Turn on your notification bell. Also, feel free to share this around with anyone else you feel could benefit. We also on Apple and Spotify, the Rise of the 1% podcast. Besides that, we'll see you on the next episode. Have a great one. On purpose. Yep. Hello, this is G Bass. Rise of the 1%, Rise Media. We on this Saturday evening about to get ready to knock out some podcast episodes with some individuals here in the city of Atlanta making some big moves. You can see here, look, this is how it goes down. Here when our guests come and sit down with myself, G Bass, other Rise of 1% of Rise Media, to have that conversation, to share the story, share the journey, share what you got going on. So listen, everybody got a story, everybody got a journey, and then you got some things going on, then you definitely can get with us and see if it'll be a fit to be on the Rise of 1% podcast and actually have that discussion with myself. It's going to be a link to a form you can fill out. You said www.theriseofthe1%.com/pod-form. Again, www.theriseofthe1%.com/pod-form. It's going to be in this video. You can fill that out, and we can see if it'll be a fit for you to come on and have that conversation with myself. If you don't fill out the form, then obviously it's not for you, and that's fine. We're looking for those that's serious. Those that's serious about rising to the top 1% are already in the 1%. That's what we're looking to sit down with myself right here. As you can see, Rise Media, Rise to the 1%. This is how we get down. We have a great time and have a lot of fun doing it. So once again, if you're serious, make sure you fill out the form. We'll look over the form, see if it's a fit. If it's a fit, we'll reach out. If not, we won't reach out. We'll just continue to move forward. But with that said, this is G-Bass. See you soon. Have a great one on purpose.